Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ricardo.
I'm Chanel.
And we are here with another video. And today we're going to show you our entire KINO LORBER collection. I've been wanting to do this video for a while and finally got around to it. I feel like we have enough for the collection to show you guys.
Definitely.
And but before we get started, would kindly ask you to please subscribe to our channel. Go ahead and like these videos and go ahead and watch our older videos if you can. And also follow us on Instagram if you have an Instagram. It's hardcore_media101. Thank you so much, and let's get into it. So the first movies I'm gonna show you is the KINO LORBERs without slipcovers. Okay, so the first one I'm gonna show you is a movie that came out in 1985, directed by KINO, and it was I kind of grew up with this movie. It's called Gotcha, Anthony Edwards. It's a spy movie, and I really like it. It's like Cloak and Dagger, kind of.
Gotcha.
Something along the lines.
That's a fun title.
But yeah, you haven't seen this one, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay, yeah.
I've never heard of it either. But
yeah, it's good. It's a fun movie.
Have to watch that soon.
It takes place in France, so.
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah. It's a
yeah,
good one.
Yeah.
Good to have.
Would recommend it. So.
Yeah.
Okay, let's moving on to the next one. We've got a Clint Eastwood title. This has a young Jeff Bridges in it, and who was it directed by? It was directed by Michael Cimino, and it also wrote the movie. But yeah, it is called Thunderbolt and Lightfoot.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually watched this. I actually enjoyed it. It's a heist movie, you know.
Yeah.
And but I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed this movie. I didn't really know much about it. Oh. So I just kind of bought it and I was like, okay, we'll try it out. Came out in 1974. So
I'll have to watch this one.
yeah, I think you might like it.
Yeah.
It's a little older, obviously, but
doesn't mean it's not good.
yeah, doesn't mean it's not good. It's just some of them older titles are
They're
really good
ones.
titles. Yeah.
Can't judge.
The classics, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on, and the next one we have is an 80s movie, and it's called Wildlife, and it has a whole bunch of people. It's got Chris Penn in it, Leah Thompson, Ian Mitchell Smith from Weird Science, of course. It's got Eric Stoltz in it, and Rick Moranis, Randy Quaid. I mean, it's got a whole bunch of people in it.
Wow.
Came out in 1984. I don't remember watching this when it came out, but I did want to check it out, and I did. And you know, it was like that classic, you know, 80s movie, teenage, you know, coming of age kind of movie.
I've never seen a movie with so many names at the top.
Yeah.
There's so many.
I know. Compared to the other titles, it's just like 2 or 3, you know.
I think I'd like this. It looks like a fun.
But at the time, obviously, they're all young, so they ended up doing more movies, you know, along the years after. But
it looks like a fun movie.
Yeah.
I think I'd enjoy it.
It like I said, it's just a teenage, you know, coming of age movie, so. It wasn't
it's
that
rated
bad.
R?
Oh yeah, I did not know it was rated R.
I was
thinking PG-13.
I wouldn't expect. Yeah, I would expect PG-13, but
yeah.
Okay.
All right, moving on. We have a movie that came out in 1985. I want to say. Yeah, it's got Madonna in it, and Rosanna Arquette, and also Aidan Quinn. Desperately Seeking Susan, 1985. I do remember this movie quite well. It being on a lot as a child, so I
saw it once.
Yes, and you know, it was just a mix. It's a mix-up movie, you know, mistaken identity kind of thing. Yeah. So it was cool to revisit. Not a great movie, but it was cool to revisit because it just kind of brought me back in my childhood, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, if you like these kind of movies, you like these 80s type of movies, and if you like a little Madonna in your movies, then this movie's for you.
For sure, yeah.
I think was it rated R? It was PG-13.
No, this is PG-13.
PG-13, okay. All right, moving on. The next one is a classic, and I love this movie, and it is nothing short of a classic. I mean, it's got some young guys in it. Young at the time, not very well known, but the movie's called Losing It. Came out in 1983, and it was directed by Curtis Hanson, but it has a young Tom Cruise in it, John Stockwell, Shelley Long, and I cannot remember the other guy. Jackie Haley? No, that's not him. But anyway, yeah, it's really, really funny movie. I'm not sure if you've seen this with me. Came out in 1983.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Love this movie. I actually have the DVD of it.
Really?
And the cover art's a little different, so I kind of hung on to it. But I had it for the longest time, and then realized there was a Blu-ray of it. But this movie is just, I love this movie. I remember watching this, and I should not have in 83.
I mean, it's rated R, so it's like, ugh.
Yeah, there's a little bit, if you're little ones, it might be time to put them to bed when you put this one on. It's not like nasty or crazy or anything, you know what I mean? But it has a rated R movie, so there might be some subject or some stuff, some situations in it, some subject matter that may not be suitable for children. So
some delicate stuff.
Yeah. The thing that gives it away is the legs on the front, obviously.
Yeah,
but
it's like a big...
Yeah, they go to Mexico and have a lot of fun, and, when you go to Mexico, you know how that is, and it gets a little wild down there, so... But yeah, I definitely recommend this movie if you don't have it in your collection. I really do enjoy that. Excuse me. Okay. So the next one is a comedy classic. I love this movie. Had to have it when it first hit the Blu-ray. Yeah, it's a movie that has it's called Career Opportunities.
I've seen it. It was good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a very fun. It's funny. I really liked it.
It came out in 1991. It was directed by. Well, and I forgot about that. It was written by John Hughes and produced by John Hughes, but directed by Brian Gordon. But yeah, so that's cool. It had John Hughes had a hand in it, so it kind of felt like a John Hughes film. That's kind of cool. But yeah, it's got a young Jennifer Connelly. It's got Frank Whaley in it. It's got Dermot Mulroney in it as the crook or whatever you want to call him.
Right.
He's so hilarious in that movie.
Yeah, it was great.
But yeah, he gets locked into Target. Not trying to give too much spoilers, but gets locked into Target overnight. He works there, but he gets locked in, and that's part of the thing. He can't go anywhere, can't let anybody out until 7 in the morning or whatever. But it's hilarious. I loved watching this as a kid. Came out in 1981, so it's PG-13. So yeah,
it's good.
It's not too bad. You can watch it for friend and family. Yeah. Just monitor, I guess. Some language, I guess.
Yeah, some language.
Okay, so moving on to the next one. We got a movie that I had never seen before, but I'm very familiar with the starring actress in this movie, and her name is Susanna Hoffs, and we all know her from the Bangles, of course. So that's why I really took a chance on it, because I really like the Bangles music. I really enjoyed their pop music in the 80s, and I really liked her. She was really pretty. So I just figured I'd check it out, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't very expensive, so 1987 came out, and it was directed by... Sometimes you just can't find the director really quick on these. Written...
Should be like over here,
produced...
Right? Co-writer.
Okay. Well, I haven't been able to locate that, but look, it's produced and directed by Tamar Simon Hoffs. Oh, look at that, Tamar Simon Hoffs. Probably related to Susanna Hoffs, I would guess. Yeah, because with that last name. But yeah, it also has Joan Cusack in it. She had a small part, and she was in a lot of 80s movies. But it wasn't that great. It was okay. It was not really great. I mean, it's just, a bunch of kids go on a beach house and party, and there's a love story and stuff, and like a love triangle, and just wasn't great. 1987, but I don't know. You get it. I don't know. It's not like must buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can sleep through that one. But yeah. The best thing that had that going for that movie was Susanna Hoffs. Trust me.
That's why they needed her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Helps out a bit, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the next one is a classic that I consider a classic. I consider everything that I grew up with and nostalgic, you know, a classic. So
Yeah.
this movie, I love this movie. It's called Tough Turf. And if you don't know this movie, what are you doing owning movies? What are you doing? Oh, no, I'm just joking. No, but this movie is actually just...
I've seen it. Right?
Oh, it brings me back to the 80s.
I've
Yeah,
seen that one.
I definitely put this on for
remember.
you. I wanted you to check it out and see what you thought about it.
It was good.
But it's got James Spader in it. It's got Robert Downey Jr. in it. And I like young Robert Downey Jr. I like young James Spader. I like them. I love that time period. I love that period. That mid 80s, early 80s, early to mid 80s, even late 80s. But like I just love that time. You know what I mean? And like I still like Robert Downey Jr., but I like 80s Robert Downey Jr. more. I don't know why. Yeah, so it was directed by Fritz Kirsch. Fritz Kirsch. Okay. Never heard of him, but yeah, it's just a new kid in town, goes to school, has a hard time. He goes from school to school, kind of gets in trouble a lot, but he comes to this school and the trouble finds him, and he's got to, and then there's a love interest, and then he's got to decide what he's going to do as far as, is he going to get his butt whooped trying to get this woman or this girl, or is he going to just give up and just, you know. So I like it. I really enjoy it. I just like this kind of stuff. So yeah, Tough Turf. Tough Turf. Okay, so the next one is a movie that came out in 1988, and it stars Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin, and it's called Big Business. And basically, all you need to know is on the cover. Basically, it's a set of twins. Two sets of twins, I should say.
Two sets.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. And directed by Jim Abrahams. Yeah, and it's got Bette Midler.
PG, wow.
Lily Tomlin. Some old-time actresses, I guess. Especially Lily Tomlin. I remember her in... what was that movie in the early 80s? Really early 80s. The Incredible Shrinking Woman. I remember that movie. Watching that a lot. My parents watching that a lot. But yeah, I remember her a lot. But yeah, in 1988, it was okay. It wasn't great. Nothing spectacular.
All right.
Just bought it. Just pure nostalgic. Wanted to see it again. Haven't seen it in years. So you can't really find these kind of movies on Netflix or any streaming services. So
like rare ones.
So I bought it, and it was only $10. So
that's good.
Can't buy that. Can't beat that. So
yeah, definitely.
You didn't see that one yet, right?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's okay. I guess it's worth to watch once. Okay, the next one is a really good film. Actually, I really enjoyed this film. I remember seeing it a long time when I was younger. I remember my dad watching it, and yeah. So it's called Iceman. It's got Timothy Hutton in it.
What is that on the cover?
Oh, that is, I believe that's John Hurt. Oh, hold on, not John Hurt. Hold on.
I just couldn't even identify.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of his name. Is it John Hurt? Oh, what is his name? And I'm looking up here to see if it's not Timothy Hutton. It might be John Lone. John Lone. But anyway, yeah, I think that's what it is. But
okay.
It was directed by Fred Shepisi, but came out in 1983. So, but I do remember this, and then watching it as an adult is totally different than watching it as a kid, because your perspectives are different and you understand more and stuff like that. But when I watched this as a kid, I used to get freaked out because it was just like, ooh, who's this guy? He doesn't speak English. He's a caveman. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't understand that concept and everything. Yeah. But now, as an adult, I was able to watch the whole thing from front or to the beginning and the end, and I really enjoyed it. And it was very interesting. I like stuff like that, Icemen and stuff like that, and Neanderthals. And
yeah, it is pretty
that
interesting.
time, you know what I mean?
It is definitely.
And he thawed out a man, and he was still living. Like,
right.
That was crazy. I mean, he was in a, you know.
Wow.
He was frozen.
I like movies like that.
Yeah, really cool. I like it. Okay, so the next one we have, man, I feel like I say this word so much on our channel. It's nostalgic. It brings back so much memories because that's and honestly, that's the whole point of collecting is not only buying new movies and stuff that you haven't seen, but also revisiting those old movies that bring so much memory to you,
Yeah, I know
and all these great memories and of your childhood and your parents and your family and stuff. So, but this one I definitely remember. This came out in 1984. It stars Rick Springfield. Hard to Hold. I remember my sister really loving this movie. Oh. Like, what child or what kid did not like Rick Springfield in the early 80s? Like, every girl loved him. Oh. You know what I mean? He was like the heartthrob of the early 80s and mid 80s, So that's the reason why he got a movie. It was because oh my God, he's this good singer. So, hey, let's give him a movie. You know what I mean? Let's star him in a role. Acting was bad. It wasn't terrible.
Acting was bad.
It wasn't terrible, but I'm saying it wasn't great.
Let's being honest.
Yeah,
you don't gotta lie.
And of course, in the movie, he's a singer and under a different name, and a love story, and
it's okay. I mean, you can't be good at everything.
It wasn't great, but I did watch it again, and it was cool to watch it again as an adult, and I was like, cool. Why were we watching this again as kids?
What?
But the crazy thing, it's got a PG rating.
It is PG.
And it's got a PG rating, but it should have been PG-13.
I even just close looking at it, I'm just like, PG.
I think that was very. They were being a little kind on that one. It should have been PG-13 because there's some stuff in there that's not great, and some language, and so PG, no, definitely not.
No.
Okay, so the next one we've got is a movie that I really enjoy, honestly, and I love the star actor in this movie.
Who is she?
Gene Wilder.
Oh,
well, yeah, I'm talking about Gene Wilder here.
I thought it was okay.
Oh, yeah, but of course, let's not be overshadowed by this woman because this is, I draw a blank sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't use cheat sheets. It's Kelly LeBrock, that's right. Weird Science. She was also in a movie called, Steven Seagal movie called Hard to Kill. Yeah, she's really pretty. I think she's British. But yeah, it's also got Charles Grodin in it. I love Charles Grodin. But yeah, this was directed by none other than, I believe, Gene Wilder. It was written by Gene Wilder, and it was directed by Gene Wilder. Look at that. 1984. The Woman in Red. And the title song was by Stevie Wonder. I Just Called to Say I Love You. And yeah, I love this movie. It's funny.
PG-13.
And I love Gene Wilder. Yeah, PG-13 rating. But I love Gene Wilder.
I can tell.
1984, I love him. He's funny. Gosh, rest in peace. He was funny. It's such great classics, that he was in. Mm-hmm. Okay, the next film, and man, this one got cracked.
Yikes.
Yeah.
It's really had it.
That's happened.
Right.
I got so many backup cases. But yeah, with the crack case, the next one we've got The Hard Way. Michael J. Fox and James Woods. I actually like this movie. It was actually pretty good. Okay. 1991. And yeah, it's got, those are the two starring actors in the, also had Annabella Sciorra, I believe, was in there. And then it was directed by John Badham, yeah. But yeah, it was a good film. I would definitely recommend it. You check this one out. Especially if you like Michael J. Fox and his early days, James Woods. I always like James Woods. His witty
funny
acting, yeah. Oh. Witty and kind of like just really dramatic and stuff like that.
Oh.
I just like the way he his characters are in his movies.
Yeah.
So, but that's the one. That's all of our KINO LORBERs without slipcovers. Now let's dive into the ones that with slipcovers. So starting us off, we have got a few Clint Eastwood films. This one right here is a Western, and it's got Clint Eastwood, and it's got Robert Duvall and John Saxon. And it is called Joe Kidd. I really like this slipcover. I really love it, actually.
Yeah, I like it.
Him with a shotgun, and in the other hand, he's got a mug of beer.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But yeah, this movie was okay. I enjoyed it. I like Robert Duvall, and I like some Clint Eastwood. 1972, and it was directed by John Sturgis. So yeah, I mean, if you like Clint Eastwood, not a bad choice, not a bad movie.
It's PG. PG. Oh, have to see that one.
Okay, moving on to the next one. It's Clint Eastwood again. This is High Plains Drifter.
Oh, this one's really cool.
Yeah,
I love that one.
Yeah, did you like the movie?
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah,
And I like how he saved the town.
that was good.
Yeah, it's 1973, so this was like, okay, the year after that one. That's kind of cool. So the year after Joe Kidd, this one, he made so many movies. I mean, especially in the
like quick,
60s and 70s, he made so many movies. But he was really busy. So
yeah.
And then who was in this one? Anybody I know? I don't really. Oh, hold on. Nope. Different person. Okay. It was directed by Clint Eastwood too, so that's kind of cool. Directed his own. I mean, I don't remember the first one he directed himself because obviously he became a world-renowned movie director. But he was starting to do it in '73, so
Yeah.
I don't know how far back what his first movie he directed was, but really good. I mean, acted and directed. Started.
Yeah, that is cool. That's
So
big.
very talented man. Very talented man. Okay, so the next one we've got is Play Misty for Me. I really like that slipcover too.
Oh yeah.
He's terrified. It was directed by Clint Eastwood. Look at that. This one came out in '71. So you see what I'm saying? You did this one, Play Misty for Me, Joe Kidd, and High Plains Drifter in a row. 71, 72, 73.
That's a lot.
So I mean, he was just really busy. This is a really good suspense and horror thriller. Really enjoyed this one. Would definitely highly recommend this, especially if you like Clint Eastwood. So, okay, so the next one, we're going to move on to the next one, and it's called Gambit. It's got Shirley MacLaine in it and Michael Caine. I really like that slipcover.
Yeah, I like it. I like the colors. They're all so like, just kind of catches your eye.
Vibrant.
Yeah, right.
1966 on this one. But I liked it. It was okay.
66?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It's got Shirley MacLaine in it.
Wow.
Michael Caine. I like Michael Caine. A young Michael Caine. But it was directed by Ronald Neame. So, yeah, it was okay. Okay, here's some titles I haven't even opened yet. This is called The Planet of the Vampires.
Oh.
It's a film by Mario Bava. It looks like kind of like horror / science fiction.
Yeah.
But yeah. This is the slipcover, pretty cool. Came out in 1965, so it was an older film.
Even older, yeah.
Let me see if I can get a director in here. Yep, Mario Bava. Yep. So yeah, I'm interested in checking this out. Actually,
Yeah,
I'm gonna check this out
cool.
soon.
Yeah.
Put it on the list.
On the list.
And here's a movie that we were supposed to watch last night.
Oh yeah, we were.
And something else happened. Something else
So-
came up. No, we were literally going to watch this movie
Yeah,
last night. And
we were
it
planning
didn't.
on it. It was on our list.
Yeah. But it's okay because
But
it's going in this week for sure.
yeah.
But it's called I'm Dangerous Tonight. And it's got Dee Wallace and it's got Anthony Perkins, of course, of Psycho. And Dee Wallace wasn't she in the 80s? Especially when it comes to horror. She was in E.T., she was in Cujo, she was in The Howling. I mean, she was in so many.
Oh, she was the main one in Cujo?
Yeah, she was she was the mother, the one that's trapped in the car with her son. But yeah, she was in so many movies in the 80s. And all horror. She loved horror. I mean, it's literally. But it was directed by Tobe Hooper. We love Tobe Hooper here. Chainsaw Massacre, Poltergeist, the Funhouse.
The Funhouse.
I mean, he had a lot to do with a lot of great horror flicks in the 80s. But yeah, this came out in 1990, and I'm looking forward to checking it out for sure.
For sure, yeah, that looks good. We gotta actually watch it. We
Yeah.
gotta get to it.
Okay, so the next one we have is a Chuck Norris film, and it's called Good Guys Wear Black. And look at that slipcover. I mean, those glasses. Very fitting for the 1970s. If you didn't have these, I mean, you just weren't cool. You weren't hip. They're the biker glasses, but they made a comeback actually. What, in the 90s or the early 2000s? 1978. That was like his
78?
yeah, that was his when he was in his prime for sure.
Oh.
But yeah, it was directed by, we can't see a name here. Ted Post. Okay, Ted Post. But yeah, I want to check that one out for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to check that one out. This is cool.
For sure. The next one, another Chuck Norris film. This got Lee Van Cleef in it. But yeah, this one looks very...
The Octagon.
Yeah, The Octagon. I mean, haven't checked this one out yet. 1980 film. This is probably like right before Silent Rage. I love that film. And this was directed by... yeah, I don't see the... Eric Carson. 1980. Looking forward to checking that out.
Yeah.
Some Chuck Norris. Got to introduce you to some Chuck Norris.
It looks very 80s. Like the cover is very 80s.
Yes,
yeah.
very.
1980 it came out, so... Well.
Okay, so the next ones we have is... those are all of our Blu-rays now. The Blu-rays are done. Now the next few we have are all the 4K KINO LORBERs we have. And definitely want to add to this collection, by the way. We do have some coming soon. But they put out such great titles.
Right.
They put out such... I really like their slipcovers. I love the fact that they come with slipcovers.
Oh, yeah.
I love how they seal them. So you're guaranteed the slipcover.
Love slipcovers.
Yeah, and you know what? And a lot of times they're not expensive. Now the 4K is a little bit more now that they're doing 4Ks.
Yeah.
They're a little bit more, but I'm saying the Blu-rays, you still get the Blu-rays for a good price. 15, $12, $13 with a slip. So, anyway, this next one is a Sidney Poitier film, In the Heat of the Night. It's a classic film, 1967. It's a classic. I mean, it was a really good film. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Highly recommend this movie.
Okay, yeah.
You haven't seen that one, have you?
No, but we'll have to add it to the list.
Yeah. I've seen it, but it's really good. I'd watch it again for sure. That's a rewatch for sure. Next one we've got is Mel Gibson. Mad Max. I really love that slipcover.
Yeah, definitely.
This was directed by George Miller, 1979. Wow. Yeah, one of his first films, and he was definitely really young, from Australia. But 1979, wow. I thought it was more early 80s, like 81, 82. But didn't realize it was 79. So, yeah, this was one that started all the Mad Maxes.
Oh, yeah.
Really, it's good. So,
yeah.
You've seen that one, right?
Oh, no.
I thought you did.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, you might have to watch that one for sure. I would recommend it.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it because I think it looks a little familiar.
Yeah.
From, like the scenes on the back, but maybe not.
Okay, and so the next one we have is a classic. I mean, when I say classic, I'm not just saying that. This is a classic. This has got Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins in it, and it is The Silence of the Lambs. And I love that slipcover, by the way. And this came out in 1991, and it was directed by Jonathan Demme. Really love this movie.
Rated R, yeah.
Definitely love this movie.
Yeah, this was
I can't see it enough. I haven't watched the 4K yet, but I've seen it so many times. Saw it one time. The first time I saw it in 1991, I was 14 years old, and I was at a hotel with my family, with your grandma and grandpa, and my sister, and we watched it. It was so funny because they put it on. I don't think they realized what the movie was about, really. They thought it was this little crime thriller or something.
Yeah.
No. We had to shut our eyes. They wanted us to shut our... It was crazy. I mean, and because you've seen the movie, so it's like, what? They put that on like it was a Sunday evening family movie night?
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely not a family movie night film to be watching with 14-year-olds. But yeah, that's I mean, I was already into horror films. I was always sneaking them. So I had already, you know, she was telling me to shut my eyes, but really, in fact, I already seen stuff like this. But that was a crazy movie, though, I won't say. The next one we have is Anthony Hopkins and Julianne Moore. It's called Hannibal. Have not opened this one yet. I have seen this. Saw it in the theater. 2001.
2001.
Yep, and this was directed by Ridley Scott. Did not know that. Ridley Scott did The Alien.
Oh yeah.
At least the first one or two. I don't know if he did them all, but yeah, Ridley Scott.
Oh wow.
Did not know that.
That looks good. This looks good.
Yeah, you definitely gotta watch it.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so the next one we have is Benedict Cumberbatch, and Colin Firth, Tom Hardy, a lot of names in this one, John Hurt, and Gary Oldman, of course, starring in this one. It's called Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I really like that slipcover. Love it. It's got all the encryption
cool.
and the names and the words and stuff like that. It's like not even names. It's like the encryption of the codes and stuff like that because they're spies.
Oh, it's the coding.
Yeah, it's cool. And the enemy is within. So there's like an inside person.
Very, very
it's really cool.
Yeah.
I really like it. I enjoyed it. Came out in 2011. But yeah, I really like Gary Oldman. So, but if you like that kind of spy stuff or whatever, definitely check this out. Worth the watch.
For sure.
Okay, the next one is a horror flick that was really creepy. I mean, 1978. It's got Donald Sutherland in it. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This has who was it in? Oh yeah, Leonard Nimoy was in this. The one that played Spock in Star Trek's. Yeah, and Jeff Goldblum was in here. I forgot about that. Jeff Goldblum. Okay. But yeah, I did I rewatched this. It was really cool. It was good to see it again. But it was also directed by Philip Kaufman.
Okay.
Name sounds very familiar. I know he's in something I know, but can't remember what title it was from. But yeah, it's cool.
You'll end up remembering it later.
Oh, of course. Okay, the last two we have are both Clint Eastwood films. And I know there's one or two that I'm missing out of the westerns, but I still need to get those. This is a Clint Eastwood film that is called For a Few Dollars More. It's a Sergio Leone directed. I love that slipcover. 1965.
Wow.
Yeah, this was really cool. Love this movie. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna check this out. Again, I'm gonna rewatch this, but I don't know if you saw that, but
I haven't seen it.
It's got Lee Van Cleef in it too, so
okay,
he's in a lot of his films.
Have to check that out.
Those westerns, so
yeah,
not a lot, but a couple of them. But yeah, this is the last one we have in the collection. So yeah, this was a fistful of dollars. I should have did this one first because the other one's for a few dollars more. But yeah, this one came out in 1965. Okay, so this was 64. This one came out first.
Okay.
But yeah, I really like it. The slipcover and everything.
Yeah, that's cool.
1964. Yeah, classic. I really enjoyed that movie.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that is it. That's all we have in our KINO LORBER. I should say that's all. But yeah, we really enjoyed doing this video and showing you what we had. Thanks so much for coming and watch it, and definitely don't forget to go follow us on Instagram. It's hardcore_media101. Go ahead and like these videos and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
See you soon.